Hi, this is Lucia with The Art of Love, and this week I have an email from a woman who says, "My ex and I have been hanging out for the past 5 months after our breakup. We broke up because it was all moving too fast. He's never believed in love before, and when he realized he was capable of loving and that I could be his one in a million, he got freaked out. So this is why I always say you want to go slow, because even for people who do believe in love, if you go too fast, at some point someone's going to put the brakes on and go, whoa, hold on, hold on a minute, I was fine and now I can't sleep, I can't eat, and people just want their life back. But if you go slow, then they don't really notice that you're creeping in, so to speak. Okay. Continuing on, it was the best 5 months we ever had together. Our connection grew deeper. Our times were full of excitement and adventure. It was both something we enjoyed, something we wished we had when we first got together." Okay? So far, post-breakup, it all sounds good. "We weren't official in these 5 months, which kind of gave me anxiety. That's what happens when you don't have a commitment, when you're not official, so to speak. Because when I wouldn't hear from him for days, I would be hurt even though I really didn't have the right to." Well, I mean, you can be hurt if you want to, but yeah, if you don't hear from someone and you don't have a commitment, then you can't really say anything. And that's why if you want a commitment, you have to ask for it and you have to hold out for it, and you don't get into something where you don't have a commitment. But okay. This past weekend when we were together, I told him how it affects me and the fear of him ghosting me for someone else. We had a good discussion and chose to take some time from one another. Okay, so take some time to do what? People take time apart, and I'm really not a fan of that taking time apart, because I think without even realizing it, what you're trying to do is you're trying to see who's going to have the most separation anxiety. And then the person that has the most separation anxiety is the one that is going to agree to what the other person wants. Because otherwise, you're either in or you're out. You're either together or you're not. You're either dating or you're not. You're either in an uncommitted relationship or you're not. It's like, why are we taking a break? So you have to ask yourself, why did you take some time apart? I know I shouldn't contact him, and I'm going to proceed with a 30-day no contact rule. So as I already said in previous podcasts, there is no 30-day no contact rule. Very emphatic about that because there's so much misinformation. There's a no contact rule, which means you don't contact the other person after a breakup, no matter what. But there is no 30-day no contact rule, even though people think there is. That's a fallacy. That's total BS. So you're not going to, if you don't hear from him in 30 days, you're not going to contact him. It's not like, okay, 30 days have gone by. Yep, now I can call him and we'll see what happens. Because that's just not how it works. It's not 30 days. Okay. When we were ending our conversation and what we were going to do, he kind of gave me false hope by saying, well, maybe this is God telling us this is what we need for now. And maybe one day we'll be different people and can meet together again. And then he proceeded to say how he'll want to date others in a year or two. Contradicting much? Well, people, and by people I mean guys, a lot of times they say stupid things, so you can't really go by what he's saying. He probably wasn't thinking. Or maybe he was, and he's telling you his true feelings, that, he's still, even if you do get back together, that down the road he will want to date other people, which means he's not ready for a commitment. So there's nothing to do, which is the hardest thing to do, which is nothing. I know you think that, well, there must be something I can do. It's the illusion of action. The best thing to do, if you're going to do anything, is to leave him alone. You know that you don't want to be in an uncommitted relationship with him because you tried that and you had the anxiety. So you don't want to do that, and yet you guys tried the committed relationship, which was before your first breakup, and that didn't work. So he's just not ready. there's nothing you can do. You can't push people past their fears or past what they desire at that moment. He has to get there on his own. And he either will or he won't. But you trying to push it, or you trying to make it happen, you trying to do something, you waiting 30 days and then contacting him is not going to do it. He needs to arrive there on his own. And if you really are his, as you said, 1 in a million, then he will arrive at that point. It may not be now. It may be a year from now. It may be down the road even further. Or it might be next week. Who knows? That's why dating can cause so much anxiety, because there's so many variables, so many unknowns. You just don't know. But that's also what makes it exciting. So for now, just sit tight. And if you'd like more help with this, of course, I am available for private coaching. If anyone listening has any comments or question, you can please feel free to contact me at my website, theartoflove.net. If you're listening to this on iTunes, I would really appreciate if you would rate and review the podcast. And finally, remember that love inspires, empowers, uplifts, and enlightens.